WNDS Sports and Tri-State Megabucks present the championships of the New Hampshire Candlepin Bowling Association. It's the 1996 All-Event State Tournament.
The 1996 All-Event State Tournament is sponsored in part by the Car Phone Store of Nashua.
And now from the legendary Bowling Center, here are Doug Brown and Dan Murphy.
From the Londonderry Bowling Center here in Londonderry, New Hampshire. Thanks so very much for joining us, and welcome once again to our continuing coverage of the New Hampshire State All Events Championship. Doug Brown along with Dan Murphy. Last week we crowned Janet Pock as the four-time New Hampshire State Women's Champion, and now this week, Dan, we begin our six-game match. Again, it will be spread over this week and next week to determine the men's champion with two terrific competitors.
That's right, and one of them is trying to go for two consecutive championships in a row, and that's Gary Carrington.
All right, let's meet our two competitors. First of all, the guy coming in here is the number 4 seed, but he's been bowling exceptionally well, winning his two match play rounds with very impressive scores from Plastow, New Hampshire, Dave Richards.
Okay, Dave averaging 133, high single 196, high triple 470.
All right, and the guy who will be coming in today as the number 1 seed, he's been sitting in that number 1 spot after the 21 games of the all-events competition with an outstanding score of 28.79 and just waiting around for his opponent. Now he has one, and he'll be trying to win back-to-back state championships now, as Dan said. Our defending champion from 1995, also from Plastow, New Hampshire, Gary Carrington.
Okay, and Gary comes in averaging 132, high single 196, high triple 480.
It's the Battle of Plastow in addition to the state championship here. Let's show you the matchups now in the brackets as to how these guys arrived here. Again, 21 games in the state championship all-events competition. After the 21 games are over, the bowler with the highest total pinfall receives a bye into this championship match. The next 4 bowlers, 2, 3, 4, and 5, have to play off in match play competition. And as you can see, Dave Richards, Dan, not only has beaten two very tough competitors in Tim Lipke and Mike Poulin in the preliminary rounds, but also with outstanding scores both times.
Yes, both over 700. Fantastic bowling in the preliminary rounds.
All right, we've got 6 games now to decide the New Hampshire Men's All-Events Championship, and we will get the match started. Dave Richards and Gary Carrington when we come back to Londonderry after these messages. Stay with us. 21 games, as we mentioned, to reach the top 5 in the New Hampshire All-Events State Championship. 5 games of singles, 5 of doubles, 5 in mixed doubles, and then 3 games each in both men's teams and mixed teams competition. So that adds up to 21 games. And then in the case of Dave Richards, who had to come through the match play version, 10 more games. So 31 games for him because he had to roll those 2 5-game matches. But now we are in the final, and it's 6 games to the title. And Dave Richards starts with a spare. Both of these guys have been with us on any number of occasions in various formats, both great competitors. They both know each other very well, obviously. Big first ball, but somehow the 5-10.
5-10, and you can see Dave kind of twisting and turning there, hoping the piece of wood between the 5 and the 10 would turn for him. Talked about his scores against Tim Lipke, 717 to Tim Lipke's 657. And you figure, well, I'll take on Dave next match because he's got to cool off. Well, he didn't. Well, Mike Poulin 735 to 673.
A 28 start for Dave. And now Gary Carrington, the defending New Hampshire champion. Won this event last year in his first time entered. Gary also was the Massachusetts state champion back in 1988. Nine to open. Spare leave now on the 3 and the 6. And there it is.
Each bowler has one mark now. Gary Carrington putting his spare up in the second.
All the bowlers we've seen come on here, Dan, I don't recall that any of the others have the exact same model bowling ball that Dave Richards uses. He has that double-crossed line, like 2 circles surrounding his ball. One circle is in red and the other circle is in white. And when the ball goes down the lane, you can clearly see the spin on it.
But our great friends at Paramount Industries, if you want balls look like that, they can do it.
Nice job, Dan.
No, Bob Pearl and the gang will thank me for that.
Yes, absolutely.
Right through the middle.
And the very unusual 2-3-4-6 leave. Not quite. $10. 3 in a row for Dave Richards.
Eight fill on the spare. Trying to make it 2 in a row, converting the 1 and the 2 pins.
Yes, for 2 in a row. Nine drop this time. Gary takes his first lead of the match and has a chance at another mark. And has it with the single. 3 straight. Dave's in the pocket. Looked like it might be a little thin, but it worked out okay. The 2-5.
Looked like the 2-5 and 10 at first. 10 was removed.
Yes.
Second mark for Dave. Again, through the middle, 1, 5, and 8. Spread eagle plus a 9-pin left.
$8. Now Gary Carrington working on his 3rd consecutive spare. Within the state Candlepin championships, of course, what we're seeing here on the wins during these weeks of competition is the all events final, but there are individual championships in all of the separate disciplines. And we will run down some of those for you. Big spare, 4 in a row for Gary Carrington.
1, 2, 7, 10.
And the solid 9 drop. Gary Carrington is the 1996 state singles champion. He rolled .699 in his 5 games of singles competition.